it's meant to not be too long, but it's like still like 15, 20 seconds, isn't it? Or at least it feels like that. Do you ever find that? Like when you're trying to talk to chat, you ask them a question, you just sit there for like 20 seconds in silence waiting for the reply.
Yeah, there is. In the very beginning, when you open the stream, it's like you're just talking to the internet, and
Yeah,
maybe you'll actually find someone replying to you.
maybe somebody might actually reply to you at some point. Okay, there. Hi everybody, we're here. I'm joined by Gnimsh today. Gnimsh is a pro Hearthstone player who does lots of casting and lots of laddering and lots of pro Hearthstone playing. Hi Gnimsh.
Hello, hey. I basically play a lot of Hearthstone.
He plays a lot of Hearthstone. He's a very nice guy. He's going to coach me in my free-to-play America laddering endeavors today. We're going to see how we
Wait,
do.
were you supposed to coach me?
I can if you want.
Oh, that would be cool. Like, how to start the account.
Hey, listen, I've got a quest today to watch and learn, and I'll win a free pack. So if you want me to coach you in a game after, and I'll win a pack from it, I'm up for that.
Yeah, I'm absolutely up for that.
Okay.
I have a couple of friends on my friend list, but they never won any games, so.
Really? I had a guy. I had a guy spectating me yesterday, and he was like, "Oh, I've got this quest. I need to spectate you. Can you please win?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem. I'm gonna win." He must have spectated like 9 games before I actually won. It was really bad. And like the whole time, he was like, "Will you just win for Christ's sakes?" I was like, "I can't. This game hates me. It's like totally against me. It doesn't want me to win."
I swear to God, like when somebody spectates you, like you just lose almost every game.
I
Like it
know
happens as well.
it's like the spectating anxiety, right? You just think, oh,
Absolutely.
geez, I'm under so much pressure. Like, how do you do it? Like when you play in tournaments and stuff, like, and you know that people are watching and everything. Do you ever feel like, holy shit, people are watching me play? I don't want to like accidentally use a card wrong or misplay or whatever. Or are you just like pretty, yeah, whatever. I'm in another tournament. Just gonna like,
Well,
take it home.
overall, you just need to get in a mindset that you're alone and just forget about it. Because if you start thinking about it, you just the Twitch chat gets to your mind, and
Yeah,
then people start saying like, "Hey, misplay, he missed lethal," and like every turn is just a nightmare.
yeah. Well,
Like look at Life Coach. You know Life Coach, right?
life coach. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I've
under
watched him
so
before.
much pressure.
I know. I life coach. I really like how he plays and like and how he really thinks about every play. But I at the same time, I can be a little bit impatient sometimes, and he ropes like every turn. And sometimes like just not in the mood, and I just think I can't. I just can't handle the rope every time, sort of thing. But he's like before he started playing Hearthstone, he was like some big poker player, right? Like didn't he like win like millions off of like playing poker or something like that? Or is that not true?
Yes. Yeah, he is a millionaire. Right now he invested it, or so I've heard. So he's playing Hearthstone because he loves the game. He's
Yeah.
just so invested.
So he's got one of those like a beautiful mind, like those mathematical minds that can just like run the odds and chances and figures and all that kind of stuff, right? Because it takes like a specific sort of mindset to be really good at poker, right? Like
Yeah, absolutely. And with
I
Hearthstone, he's also into analysis, like to the point. He basically watches all the games he played and then he analyzes what was maybe a better play.
wow. I'd say that's something that I don't do as well. Like you hear that a lot, right, from people who play like Dota, StarCraft, like a lot of esports games. They're like, yeah, I go back through and I rewatch replays of my games and see like where I screwed up and stuff like that. I don't think I've ever done that before in my life, because I'm firmly of the mindset that I never misplay. Like I just
Well,
convinced myself that that's the case anyway, so I would never need to go back and find the misplays. Like if anything, I'd go back to watch the replay to see where like the other team started cheating, because that's more plausible, maybe. No?
makes sense, yeah. And confidence is really good, you know.
It is a really good thing. It's a really good trait to have. Right, we're sharing screens. Would you like to laugh at my collection to get started?
Oh, I will never laugh at your collection.
No, you'll
Every
laugh at
collection
this.
is beautiful, I think. It's really like personal and you worked for it, so absolutely, just show me your collection.
This collection is like it's like the you say every collection is beautiful. This collection is like that guy at school who can't stop shitting his pants basically, and everybody laughs at him. There's nothing in this collection. I've made 2 cards, okay? And you know which cards I made? I made wait.
Brave
No,
Archer?
no, I did not make that. I opened that. I'm just joking. I made it.
I got killed. I got killed by that yesterday. I was
Really?
like, the guy has no outs, and he played double Brave Archer, and he killed me with the hero power, dealing 6 points of damage.
Man,
I was like, are you kidding me? The card was supposed to be bad.
that's pretty crazy, actually. Right, so I've got Thorsan, because I was telling you before, I've unlocked the first wing of Blackrock Mountain, because I thought that that was a better shout than unlocking the first wing of Nax, which would have given me Haunted Creeper. I don't know. Do you think that that's... Do you think that's fair enough, or do you think Haunted Creeper is probably more value than Thorsan?
Honestly, I would probably go for Haunted Creeper because it's well, it's used in most of the aggro decks and it's a really solid card. But hey, man, like you also get Maxna, and nobody wants Maxna.
No,
So
that's true, right? Like, I don't think anyone uses it. I think the only time you ever see Mexna is when she accidentally pops out of, like, a
web spinner,
web spinner.
portal,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I crafted 2 of these with the very limited dust I had.
They're good.
Rigs.
I like them.
They're pretty good. I think they're, like, pretty solid. And because I was, like, gonna be playing mage or whatever, I thought, you know, it's pretty good cards to have as a mage with the spell power and the draw. And that's a 4/4 as well, right? It's pretty good. Oh,
Yeah.
and I crafted piloted shredders as well.
That's reasonable. Pilot Shooter is used in most of the decks as well. Probably best 4-drop in the game.
They're pretty solid, right? Because they're sticky too. Because you know you get something from them, unless you get something really crap from them. But I don't know. You usually end up getting something pretty good from piloted shredder, don't you?
Yeah, the average stats are actually above the normal ones. I think it's like weird percentages, but what I get is like 2 plus. So it's really rarely that you get a 1/1 from the Pilot Shredder.
Yeah.
And the cards you can get sometimes really mess up your opponent. Like if you can get a Doomsayer or a Weblord, Mana Wraith, Lore Walker Cho. So
Lore
it's
Walker
fun.
Cho. Oh god, don't get me started on Lore Walker Cho. Every time that guy is on the board, I forget what he does, and the first thing I do is cast a spell, and then I instantly just think, oh my god, I just want to concede, like because I've given them like a spell that's like actually pretty good in most cases, like maybe a Frostbolt or something.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's got like just enough health where like he's not super easily removed, sort of thing. So he tends to stick around for a little while, and it's like
Troll Walker Cho.
he's the worst. He's the absolute worst. Okay, so I've got piloted shredders, Azure Drakes, and I don't think I've got anything else really of note. I was playing Evil Heckler, which I thought was funny for a time, but turns out maybe it's not the best. I think like I think it looks like it's a good card, but I think the fact that it only has 4 health is not the best really. Like a lot of people were saying that Shield Master is better because it has lower attack but higher health, so it's a little bit harder to get rid of.
Yeah, absolutely agree. The health thing is important because 5 is kind of like magical number. Like it's really easy to deal free damage. Like free damage is so easy because you have Frostbolt, Dark Bomb, and like Quick Shot, minions that have free attack, 2 mana minions. 4 is also kind of easy because you always can deal that 1 extra damage, and 3 is just really available. But 5 is this kind of magical number when people mostly have to spend 2 cards at least to deal with it, or like 2 turns to deal with it.
And that's what you want, right? I guess you want to be in a position where you're almost forcing them to use more than they need to remove something, because it gives you like a bit of an advantage or whatever. I mean, I say that now. In theory, that is probably correct, but I never really put that into practice because of the way things end up going. It's mostly due to cheating, though. I don't think it's like so much skill. I think there's a lot of it is just bad luck and maybe just like a bit of stream sniping or whatever.
Yeah, I absolutely think this is you're just the most unlucky person ever.
I think I am. Yeah, definitely.
A lot of people, use software as well, just deck tracking software.
Yeah, deck tracking stuff, wall hacks as well, pretty rampant as well in Hearthstone. You got to watch out for those. I think I'm the victim of a lot of like that kind of stuff, but I don't know. Maybe some of it, like a small percentage of it, maybe is like misplays as well. All right, so I've got Shitty Mage deck, which is the mage deck that we've mostly been using. And then for some reason I also made a priest deck, which is a bit of a mixed bag. Maybe we can look at that after. I think mage deck is probably the one that I've been playing because in terms of classes, I think mage is probably my favorite class. But I'm open to like playing other classes if you think maybe we don't have the cards to do something worthwhile with Mage. I mean, I'm up for playing pretty much anything, but I guess Warrior's probably out of the question, right? Like, is Warrior even worth playing unless you're playing like Control and Patron?
I think you can actually play Face Warrior, and
Really?
yeah, depends on how many cards you have. But Face Warrior is something that you can bring because it's surprising, and it's still a deck that can. It should be able to take you midway of the ranks as well. I think rank 5 is achievable. I think even last season, Mystery Agut, like one of the pro players, he played Face Warrior to rank 3 Legend or something.
Wow.
Nobody was expecting that, and even the list wasn't like fine-tuned. He just took the list and he made it.
Jeez, that's pretty crazy. I watched, I think a couple of seasons ago, I watched Zixo play some weird pirate deck. He got to Legend with it. He was doing one of these like marathon streams, you know, where it's like, yeah, I'm going to get to Legend in like 18 hours or whatever.
Yeah,
And so like he did it a lot with like Warlock Zoo and stuff. And then he did like, I think it was like a mech rogue he did it with. And then this kind of crazy pirate rogue, which was, man, he just like, I don't know, he just tore it up though. It was really interesting to watch actually, because it's like one of those decks where you just think, yeah, you probably see this like rank 20, you know, maybe like win a couple of times just because it's like a bit sort of like nobody knows what to play around and what to expect or whatever. But yeah, he just like got to Legend with it, and I just thought, oh my god, like I'm taking like these like tried, tested, and true net decks and getting to like rank 15. He's just like pulling pirates out of his ass and getting to Legend. It's
yeah.
unbelievable.
Some people are like that. It's just
Yeah,
I don't know how they do it, but like there's a couple of guys in the world that can just get Pokemon cards and they get like top 10 Legend with it.
yeah.
So at some point it doesn't even matter like what they play. It's just, yeah, I just play this deck and I just crush everyone.
Yeah, I know. I want to get to that point. So like that's what the coaching is all about, right? I need like arena and laddering coaching so that I can get to the point where I can make up like a crummy pirate deck and just like crush all the competition. It's gonna take me years, but like I'm totally devoted to doing it. At least this
Well,
week
if
I
people
am
stop
anyway.
cheating and if you get a bit more lucky, I
Yeah,
think
I
you can
know.
speed the process.
If Twitch could do something about the stream sniping as well, I might have a chance, but I don't know. Maybe I'll never have a chance. So this deck that I put together is sort of based off my experiences playing Tempo Mage with all the cards that I needed for Tempo Mage, especially as it sort of stands now, and then filling in the cards that I didn't have with stuff that I thought would either be fun to play and maybe give me some sort of random edge, or stuff that I just sort of remembered from back in the day as being good value to like fill in the blanks sort of thing. But I don't know if like I've won a couple of games with it. I think I've won about 20 games or something with this deck, which is, you know, at rank 20 is probably not much to sort of boast about. But like I've done okay. But like I don't know, maybe it could use some fine tuning. Yeah, I mean like Evil Heckler could probably come out. We could probably put a Shield Master in, like for sure. But other than that, I can't really think. I mean, I don't have Mad Scientists, but I have Secrets. So I don't know if that's like a bit of a problem.
No, it should be fine. By the way, it's I'm really happy that you saved some dust for the fine tuning of the deck.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I mean, I 15 dust is a lot of dust, Gnimsh. I mean, come on. I can't remember what I built last time actually. What was the last card that I crafted? I don't think I. Well, no. I think the
Not
last.
Muckless Champion for sure. I hope.
No, Muckless Champion was definitely something that we opened in a pack. He's pretty cool.
Okay.
I mean, he's fun. He's fun to play.
Yeah, it's a cool card.
I don't know if he's like really.
I think I've seen it at some point, even in constructed, and somebody just got it randomly from the portal and then won the game with it. So
Yeah.
it is an okay card.
I don't think I've ever won a game with Muckless, but I love the card art. Like, that's one thing that sets it aside from all the rest. Like, it's it's a big gorilla wearing armor, riding a hippo, and he's using
Yeah,
like a bamboo lance.
it is hilarious.
It's pretty hilarious, yeah. But apart from that, I don't know. I like the Inspire effect though, like with the bananas and stuff. Like it almost feels like a mini sergeant guy, like that the paladins use to buff up like the dudes, quartermaster. It feels
Yeah,
like a miniature version of that, and a more expensive version as well, right? Because you have to inspire Mukla after spending 5 mana on him as well. I don't know.
it is. It is kind of like a turn 7 card, but what a lot of people don't realize, you can do it again next turn. So like when you play Muckless Champion on turn 7, you buff a couple of dudes, but then next turn if they don't kill you can buff again.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah, I think this is one of those cards though that people see and they do anything they can to remove it though. Like I find anytime Muklas Champion goes down, most of the time he's around for a turn because they'll get rid of him. And likewise, Mana Worm as well. Like it's really funny actually. Sometimes when you play Mana Worm, you can just see people panicking trying to get rid of it because they don't want it to like grow and get out of control or whatever. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a game where Mana Worm's actually gotten out of control, but people seem to do their best just to like try to get rid of it. Like they'll throw anything at it to get rid of it,
that's true.
which is kind of good, I guess.
It's like a lightning rod.
Yeah. So like we have the advantage in the mind games department, but maybe I don't know, maybe not so
Okay,
much.
let's see if we can get like more advantage here. So can you show me like all the other cards that are available for us? We are not using Arcane Explosion.
No.
Uh, you're using only one Arcane Intellect. It's a golden one.
Yeah.
What else do you have there?
I've got 2 golden arcane intellects actually. And this is because I think I'm like level 21 or 22 with Mage now. So you start like unlocking these golden variations of the cards. Like Water Elemental will get golden ones of as well. Dragon's Breath. I think I got that from BRM actually. I got 1 Flame Lance. It's like 8 damage. It's a pretty good removal, right? 2 Flame Strikes. Polymorph, I was thinking about this morning, like maybe it would be worth putting a polymorph in the deck because I don't really have like any big sort of finishers or removals or whatever. I don't really have, I mean, so what I do currently, if somebody puts down like, you know, Dr. Boom or something like that, like I'll fireball it sort of thing. But like part of me thinks that maybe I should be saving my fireballs to finish with.
It depends. Like if you can't deal with Dr. Boom, then you absolutely need to remove it. But I think Polymorph is a great card to get. I will cut Evil Heckler to start and add the Polymorph.
Yeah? Okay. Let me try that. I mean, I'm not too worried about having like taunt minions because I don't know, like I know like on EU the tempo deck that I use doesn't have any taunts. Like it's got a fairly good curve, pretty good like cards that fill the curve and then just like a solid finisher sort of thing. So like I'm not too worried about having like taunting minions, but I guess if you have no other options, that they're as good as anything to throw in, right? But
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you don't have the cards, you can add them in. But the main idea of a tempo deck is that you're the one being aggressive. So you're the one asking questions, and your opponent has to have answers to your minions. If at any point of the game you're like, "Oh man, he just stopped what I'm doing," you're probably just losing the game.
yeah,
Most of the time, as the mage, you just use the minions first to deal as much damage as possible, and then you just finish them with fireballs and frostbolts. If they survive well, you probably concede and go to another game, but that's the game plan.
yeah,
And if you want to add more minions, or like you think like, hey, maybe those taunt guys will be good, or like, oh, I have like Nosdormu and it will be cool in my deck. It is changing the game plan a bit.
yeah.
But obviously, if you don't have the cards, then no choice, just have to fill with something.
Yeah. So like in those cases, I've put in, like I said before, stuff that I thought was good value. Maybe not so much Muklas Champion because that's just a bit more fun to play. But like Boulder Fist Ogre is like a pretty solid sort of value minion. I don't know if I need
Yeah.
2 necessarily. Same with like Chillwind Yeti, Piloted Shredder, Snow Chugger. I don't know. It's like a pretty. I find Snow Chuggers are like pretty useful against, you know, warriors and paladins and sometimes even hunters as well. You know, guys that tend to use weapons or whatever. You keep them frozen, keep them from using them. But I don't know. Like I always try to like challenge myself every game to like keep a Snow Chugger up and then just keep repeatedly using it on the face of somebody that has a lot of weapons. I don't know if that's like the right thing to do, but it's definitely fun to do, especially if you can like get away with it for like, you know, some like a decent length of time. But I don't know.
Most of the time it is. It's like actually pretty good, especially in the card meta game where Paladin is really popular as well as Warrior. And I think people still play Rogue as well from time to time.
Yeah, you don't see so many rogues now. I guess like I was reading something about rogues the other day, and I think it's still like oil rogue and I guess maybe mill rogue, but like you don't see many mill rogues. Like you can still do it. Like they're good at the mill deck is for rogue is pretty good, but I guess like Tinker's Oil is like pretty much the the only real rogue build now, isn't it? Because
Yeah, the thing with Mill Rogue is like it's super fun and it's still viable, but do you really want to level with the Mill Rogue and every game go to fatigue?
Go to fatigue, yeah, that's the thing. I played there was that Druid Mill deck a couple of seasons ago as well, and I played that a bit, and it was pretty fun, but yeah, the games were like so long, you know, they'd all go to fatigue, and it was just like this like dangerous sort of like tightrope game every time where you're like, oh god, I really need this next and whatever. It was really fun to play, but the games just took like so long, and if you're trying to grind the ladder, probably like not the best decks to play. But okay, so you think keep the snow chuggers in. How do you feel about unstable portal? I'm a big fan of unstable portal, but I don't know.
I absolutely would love to keep unstable portal. Unstable portal is a great to drop, or like a free drop, so you can always play it, and most of the time you're getting a minion that you can immediately play.
Yeah,
and it's also a finisher, so you can get legendary cards, and we've talked about it before it started. You're getting a lot of legendaries. I'm getting also a lot of legendaries from Unstable Portal, so I think it's cool, especially if you can like cheat in something really big on like maybe turn 5 as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, I think I wanted to craft another one at some point, but as you can see, I don't really have a lot of dust at the moment. It's probably worth running 2 in this deck, isn't it? If you can, unstable portals.
Yeah, if you run Mana Worms, I think it's good to run double unstable portal. And even like the Mech Mage right now, the current list of Mech Mage also runs 2 unstable portals.
Okay, cool. I'm not sure how much actual mech I have. If I go through like the sort of neutral stuff, I've got.
You can type mech in the search.
I got most of the basic cards, obviously. It's like mech. Yeah, so I've got basically none. I've got piloted shredders and a clockwork knight.
I can't see it yet, but well, clockwork knight is okay. Okay, I see it now.
Yeah.
It's wow.
3. Well, that's not even a mech. It just has.
It sounds a mech.
Mechanic in it. And then so this is definitely a mech, but yeah. So what we're dealing with here is a very, very, very basic card set, because like I've just started. And
okay, so
with the cheating and the bad luck and stuff as well. It all.
So let's scrap Mech Mage. Clockwork Knight will not make a Mech Mage, even though we do have most of those mechs in your deck already.
Is Clockwork Knight something that a Mech Mage would run?
Yes,
really?
I'm just still finding the place for it. But I think like a 5-drop that complements Yeti or like Shredder is actually pretty good. Okay. Like normally Mech Mage was running Fel Reaver, the latest lists. It's really hard to deal with those creatures. Like, you know, you drop an 8/8 on turn 5, and like most of the decks, they can't do anything with it.
Yeah, I've lost many games to Fel Reavers. You don't see it very often, but when they do play it, you just can't remove it. And then when they start burning cards, is it when you draw a card that how does it work with Fel Reaver? Is it the one, do they burn cards or do I burn cards? I play cards.
You burn cards. When you play Fel Reaver, when your opponent plays a card when Fel Reaver is in play, you just burn 3 cards from your deck.
Yeah.
So because it's like an 8/8 for 5 mana, which is kind of cheating. It's like the stats are too big for the cost.
Yeah.
You're going to lose cards from your deck. But if you're an aggressive deck like Mech Mage, you don't care about just losing a couple of cards from your deck, because you're just having an 8/8 on board.
Yeah, and that 8/8 on turn 5, if it can't be removed, can just like run a rampage and end up killing you, which
absolutely
it does to me like pretty much every time. Okay, so Mech Mage is out of the question. I've got a golden elite Tauren chieftain from BlizzCon.
Oh man, I love it. I actually won a
nice,
tournament with it.
Really?
Yeah, it's I played it at Intel Extreme Masters Finals in Katowice. Okay. And I played it in my deck.
What, just like as a were you just like messing around, or did you actually think like, yeah, hang on, like I figured out a way for this to work in my deck and I can win?
I did kind of figure it out. It's like Blingtron in a way. So like I was playing it in a Tempo Mage deck. We can actually play it instead of, well, I think instead of Makla's Champion.
Gnimsh, if you're saying that I can use a golden legendary in my deck, and that's like a legit thing, I'm more than happy to get rid of Mukla's Champion. As much as I love Mukla's Champion, I'm sure he'll forgive me for like adding in a really cool golden legendary with a power chord. The power chord cards are a little bit hit and miss though, aren't they?
They are, but it's like Spellslinger. So if you're a tempo deck, you play the 5/5, so you get like a really good body on board, and you give your opponent a random card. And I tell you, like most of the people, they have no idea what those cards do. Like summon a random horde card. Like, are you really going to spend your mana after seeing a 5/5 on board on a card that you don't know what it does?
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah. And then there's the Murloc one as well, right? There's the one that's like summon 2, 3, or 4 Murlocs or something like that,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
a bit
Also,
fun
like
too.
the free damage draw card, rogues do it from behind. It's pretty good and self-explanatory, but they will not going to kill your 5/5 with it. And you get a card as well. So after playing Elite Tournament Chieftain, you're going to play your own card. And if you get the free damage card, well, you're the Tempo Mage, so you're happy with even more damage.
All right, fine. Okay, I'm gonna take Muklas out then. I'm gonna put him in. Why not, right?
All right. The power of the heavy metal. Let's go.
The power of heavy metal. It's great. Okay, I'm excited already. That's fantastic. Thorsan, I put in there just because he's legendary and he's pretty useful. I feel like I could probably leave him in there. He's a pretty solid card, isn't he? Like a lot of
Yeah,
decks sort of run it now, and
he's absolutely solid. I would probably love to add another Arcane Intellect to make Thorsan even better.
okay. Do you think we need 2 mirror images? I mean, arcane missiles. Do we need it all?
Probably not, because you don't have the Flame Waker, so the card might be too weak.
Yeah. Okay. So if I take those out and I add in another arcane intellect, and then we've got space to add something else in as well. Do you think 2 polymorphs is too much?
That might be too much, yeah, because you do have removal in like fireball. Can you show me like all neutral minions from the
sure.
very beginning?
Yeah. So Gadgetzan Jouster, it's a pretty good one. I don't know. The joust mechanic I'm still like I'm not like totally convinced on. Like it's a cool mechanic, but it's really hit and miss sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, I think like Zombie Chow is better than Gadgets and Jouster, but Zombie Chow is a Nax card.
Yeah.
So Gadgets and Jouster is a good alternative if you don't have the Nax.
I've only got 1 Jouster. Do we want to add this or not really?
Probably not really. I think like Mage, you have Mana Worms, so that will be much better.
Yeah. We've got Young Priestess. I mean, I could dust that. I'm probably not going to use it. Do they still use that in Zoo?
It actually showed up like last season. I don't remember in which deck, but somebody was playing Young Priestess for a time, so you might keep it for now.
Okay.
Don't add it to the deck, but just don't dust it yet.
Okay. I think I got Flame Juggler. I mean,
I was playing it with my Druid deck.
really? Any good?
Yeah. It was decent because you deal damage to an opposing minion. It's not like Mad Scientist, Mad Bomber. So if they play a 2/1 and you play Flame Juggler, if you hit the 2/1, you're in such a great position. If you hit face, well, you have a 2/3 on board, so it's not that bad.
True. Yeah. Okay. I mean, Amani Berserker is like sort of one of those like. So when I like think value cards, like I sort of think of like the lists that Trump posts up about, you know, cards that he thinks are like good value, because he's got like these lists of like stuff that you should always pick in arena, stuff that, you know, you shouldn't pick unless you have this or whatever, and like he sort of has like a good sort of grasp on cards that provide value or whatever, and like I guess Amani Berserker is one of those cards that he sort of holds in some esteem for value or whatever, but I don't know, like I don't know, I don't have like much success with it. I guess it's one of those things that if it stays up, you can ping it, enrage it, and remove something with it, and that's probably very good. But I find that it's one of those cards that people just try to get rid of straight away as soon as it touches the board, much like Mana Worm and Muckless Champion. I don't know.
Yeah, and most of the time you don't have the time to actually enrage it because you will be playing your 3-drop or 4-drop.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it fits. Like, in terms of like our curve and stuff, are we looking, like, what are we looking for specifically now? Like, are we looking for something to fill in like a specific, you know, like mana
So because,
cost?
yeah, absolutely. Because we are looking at the tempo deck more or less. I think more 2-drops
More
and
two drops.
a couple of 3-drops as well. Because at the moment you don't have any good free drops in the deck.
So do you think having like water elementals and Chillwind Yetis and piloted shredders is too much for?
Yeah, that might be too much. We might need to cut like maybe a Chillwind Yeti, but
Do you think water elementals are better than Chillwind Yetis?
at the moment they might be because they have 6 health. They are much more difficult to kill. So for
Yeah.
aggro decks, you can trade water elemental into their minions more often, and also you block the weapons as an added benefit.
Yeah. But then we got snow chuggers to do that as well.